Then we have discussed this value chain earlier also. Why I'm again coming to this point? Because the profit is not only depend on your efforts, because it is a market. Here, large number of actors are involved. So we have to continuously monitor, continuously watching, and have a kind of coordination and association with the different actors in the market. It may be the back end actors or front end actors. When product is moving right hand side, information is moving left hand side. Means when product is moving from production to consumer, means downstreams, then information is flowing in upstreams. Or sometime both way as well, information. And in between this, we have to also understand the government and relationship, how this formal sector is behaving, what is the scenario at international level, and whether we are fit into this existing scenario, what should be the scale of productions, how we can maintain the quality, how we can target the customers, how we can go for the advanced kind of technology, maybe the packaging, like smart packaging kind of concept is coming in a big way. These all are the part of the value chain. Now entrepreneurs should be smart enough to understand the complete value chain. Unless the complete value chain is well understood, probably we could not uh, touch the heights, or we may not be very competitive in international scenario. Then these are some value chains of the, particularly of the, you can say, dairy products, processing units are there, retailers are there, some traders are there, all are integrated. The effect of one, the decision of one actor affects the profitability of the another actor. That's why there should be a proper coordination among the actors. Then some organizations are also working in skill development, because we have one Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship exclusively working on it, and to remove the demand and supply gap of the skilled manpower. Our Honorable Prime Minister is working, emphasizing again and again on skill development, skilled India, and for that, some Pradhan Mantri KSBY Kaushal Vikas Yojana, a flagship program is also there. We can take the help of these programs. We can take the fundings from the financing institutions. We can also take help of all these programs run by the state governments and central governments. Coming to the last conclusion, very simple. Sometimes small farmers are efficient in terms of production. Here in our case, the productivity of medium farmer was less because of the large number of indigenous farmers, but profit was high because they are selling the indigenous milk at a very high price. The average price received was 49, but the maximum price they are selling at rupees 100 per liter in metros. So there is a nudging effect. We should see in the market what is getting popular in the market nowadays. We can take advantage of that. Now we are realizing there is a nudging effect of indigenous cow milk, and that is demand. Demand where people are in position to pay higher price. Then average cost of milk production ranged between 27 to 33 rupees. The cost of a production is important in deciding the combination of the animals, whether to go for the crossbreed cow, whether to go for this indigenous cattle or buffalo, and what should be the scale of production. All these factors, scale of production is higher than the cost of production will come. then we should understand the existing channels. In India, there is a coexistence of the formal as well as informal sectors. Here we found that informal value chain driven by the consumer household is more prominent because these dairy entrepreneurs, what we have studied, are very smart. They are taking the help of, you can say, mass media, or you can say some social media, and making best use of their intellect in attracting their consumer. Though they are producing a quality milk and they are getting the due price of their quality. Some of our results also shows that this dairy enterprise is cost neutral. Anyone can start. There is no barrier and no association. You can be associated with the formal channel or informal channel. And those who are directly linked with the consumer, they are getting comparatively higher profit. And educated entrepreneur, what we have talked about, are very skillful in market segmentation and their positioning. We have discussed in all these areas. If we segment the market and then target and positioning, then definitely we can get the premium price, or we can attract the premium customers. Profit is found to increase with increased herd size. It is but obvious due to economy of scale and also with the land holding size. If we have our own land holding and there is availability of feed and fodder, one thing is timely availability of feed and fodder. Another is you can say we can reduce the cost of production. Then formal training. Training is an important component in dairy and food safety. I am against giving stress to the food safety. Food safety compliance are significantly associated with profit. Means those dairy entrepreneurs who have taken the training, they are getting higher profit. Those who are maintaining all food safety protocols, they are getting the higher profit. Higher is the food safety score, higher is the profit. It means we need to promote, there is a need to promote training and entrepreneurship development program in dairy, and NDRI is contributing to a greater extent. So PDP unit and village dummy, our one results indicates that village are the right place for this, can say, start of dairy entrepreneurs. Rural areas, there is a greater prospects of rural area. On one hand, they have availability of green fodder and dry fodder. On another hand, the cooperatives are nowadays penetrating into the village, and institutional support in terms of credit, consultancy, and machinery need to strengthen. Obviously, there are many schemes offered by the government of India, state governments, even Haryana, Himachal Pradesh state government has also offers. They are giving 33% subsidy, back-end subsidy to the new dairy entrepreneurs for SC and ST category, and 25% the general category of the dairy farmers. What we found that integrating the dairy farming cum processing for wider adoption in the rural catchment, because sometimes we could not find the market for the liquid milk, and particularly in few months in winters when the production increased, and then cooperatives are not lifting the whole milk. Under that scenario, if we able to go for processing, definitely I am saying with confidence that they could increase their profit more than ever. Key interventions like training and milk handling, efficient transport and processing technology, efficient design of procurement system that need to be strengthened for leveraging for milk value chain. I'm talking about the whole chain. Now there is a concept of chain because the profit of one actor dependent on the action of other actors. Our purpose is to increase the efficiency of the whole chain, and the dairy farmers are the key actor in the value chain. Unless the dairy farmers is profitable or economical or sustainable, we could not think of the complex. Means whole emphasis should be on first on the dairy farmer. What sort of inputs in terms of breed, feed, fodder, health, veterinary services, credit is required for the dairy farmers that need to be supported, that need to be strengthened, and how we can link the farmers with the consumers. We have discussed many examples. We can learn many things. New and budding entrepreneurs can learn many things from these examples. With this, many thanks. I would like to acknowledge the contributions of my colleagues involved in value chain project and one PhD student, Mr. Amit. And I would like to thanks CDEC and PI of the project and the other scientific and non-scientific staff involved in this kind of the training program. Thanks for once again.